My name is Matlok. I've been skating for, I think I was about 7 or 8 when I started skating, so it's verging on about 12 or 13 years now. I think I always kind of knew about skating, but I think I got a skateboard bought for me for birthday or something. It was when all the Tony Hawk's games were really popular. And I think, I'd always wanted to do it, and I got it for a present and kind of picked it up there. Started going to skate parks and stuff, getting driven around and stuff, and I think I kind of done it on and off. Like, obviously when you're a kid that age, you pick up and drop so many things, like you play football and all the different sports and stuff, but I always had a skateboard, and then ended up getting quite into it a lot the past few years again, and I've been doing it properly, so I'd say about 12 or 13 years, a very long time. I'd say it was definitely the Tony Hawk's games. Like, they were so popular at the time, and I can remember they were just, I think that was like in like 2003, like the early 2000s, like skating kind of got really popular again, and it was always around me. I think my older brother did it, and I kind of wanted to just copy him, do what he was doing, and I think one day I begged my mum enough for a skateboard and got one, and then was already playing the Tony Hawk's games so much, so I kind of knew about skating, and it just kind of started from there, really. In terms of like the camaraderie between skaters, and it's crazy. I definitely say there's such a huge community. Every city you go to, there will obviously be a skateboard scene, regardless of how good the weather is or whether there's spots. There's always a tight knit of skaters in like each place you go. I think Sheffield's a really good one. We've got places like Devonshire Green, like the big skate park in town, and it's normally just a place in summer where everyone goes. You don't even have to text or call anyone. Everyone just knows you're going to be there every day in the summer. And then we normally just, everyone just tends to meet there and head about and skate around streets and stuff. And we've also got the indoor skate park, the house, near the ski village, and that's really important because obviously with it being indoors, you need somewhere for when it rains and when the weather's really rubbish. So that's a huge part of the Sheffield community because it's so important to have something like that, I think. In terms of the comparison, like I said, it's kind of crazy because there are scenes everywhere, and there are the big, small, whatever. Like the Sheffield one's really tight knit. Everyone knows each other and gets along, and it's not generally through skating. They end up becoming really good mates, and it's obviously because Sheffield's so small. Everyone knows each other really, and it's kind of really cool and tight knit. Manchester's quite similar, and Leeds and other close by sort of smaller cities are just. You'd be surprised like every skateboarder will know every other skateboarder because there's not like a huge amount of them. But then London obviously is quite slightly different because of how big it is. It's like you'll always see skateboarders everywhere, and there's people use it to get to work and whatever. But like in terms of like the skate scene, they're split amongst a load of areas. There's like the people that go to South Bank all the time, and people that skate street all the time and go to like Mile End and all the different skate parks, and people who skate street and stuff. So it's not like you just go there. It's so segregated, well, not segregated, but split up that it's quite different. It's close-knit ones like Sheffield and Manchester. It's a weird one because skating's always around, and you start doing it because it's a toy. It's something you mess around on, and I think the more you skate and you're so innocent to it as a kid, when you start skating, you realise that people actually do make lots of money, and people do skate for a living and stuff. And it's something that obviously, without a doubt, you want to do. You want to make money and try and live off something that you really enjoy. It's obviously so good. But I never really knew anything about doing that as a kid, and it was only until like a few years ago when I started getting like skateboards for free and stuff that you start to think about it, because it's essentially that part of skating, and you skate to a level where you start to advance a little bit more, and people want to give you product and stuff and levels of sponsorship, and I'm lucky that I've got to a point where I can do that. And it does make you think about where you actually want to end up in it, because I think it's for people that don't skate, they kind of see it as like there's like skating, and then there's like Ryan Sheckler, like Tony Hawk levels of skating where you're like a celebrity and stuff, and it's really not like that. There's such a step system to it that like it's literally people might get paid enough off one sponsor that they can work a job still very little and survive and stuff. And in terms of money, it's really quite difficult to make a lot out of it. I mean, for me, I'd love to be able to. I really like to be able to skate to a point where I don't have to worry about money or work, and that in itself is quite a hard. It's hard to get to that point, but it's something that'd be amazing. But obviously, I don't see it really possible to be a millionaire. You're never going to make millions out of skating. It's something you just do for the passion, and I guess if a career or anything comes with it, then it's just something to be really grateful for, I guess. Yeah, there's definitely a camaraderie. I've thought about it before, is that it's funny because you walk past so many random people in the street and you just don't think about it, but as soon as you like skate down the street and you hear the sound of a skateboard, you instantly like clock onto it and like, whoa, and then if the skater comes by, you might not even know who they are, but you just have the reflex to just instantly say hello to them, which is crazy really, because it's just because you're doing the same silly thing, you just feel like there's instantly sort of camaraderie, a sense of like, yeah, you're skating, I'm skating, and you say hello, which is quite odd because you don't see it in many of the things. But it does happen a lot, and it's generally it's funny how it works, because the camaraderie is based on, I think, is because all skaters are so weird and in it together. I think you've really got to be quite weird to skate, because it's something that you do anyway because you don't want to play football, you don't want to do all the different things. It's kind of it's an individual sport, and it's something that attracts a certain type of people, and I think there's a sort of sense of like kind of in it together, like it's something like you've been narrowed down to that level of people that are finally like commit to skating and do it a lot. And it's kind of cool when you meet people that you don't even know, but you feel like you're instantly on that same wavelength, and that I mean, generally you meet skaters and you instantly like the same music and the same films and the same whatever and stuff, and I think there's a certain character in a skateboarder that means that we can all relate to each other somewhat in any sort of way, just because we all play on a piece of wood with wheels on, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. But yeah, there's definitely a sense of friendship, even though you've never met that person, just because you share an interest in the same thing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it really sucks. It's a bad one really. I mean, in terms of the buildings getting built on certain spots and stuff, that really relates to DIY spots. Like DIY spots are basically, I mean, you can tell from the name, it's just skate parks that we build in vacant spaces, and it's kind of cool when you think about it, because you'll spot a piece of land that's, you know, it's just been knocked down, it's just a big patch of flat concrete, and it's nice. It's almost like you've got a blank canvas to just build whatever you want on it, and yeah, we do that quite. It's happened. I think there's been about 2 or 3 spots that have been done in Sheffield by people that people have been involved with, and it's really good. It's essentially, when you're talking about the skate community, it really brings out everyone, and everyone really gets together and puts in a lot of work, and it's really nice just to have something you built on your own, and you can all hang out there and drink beers, smoke, like have a barbecue, and just build ramps and stuff. And yeah, there's a real nice sense of accomplishment when you skate in something that you built, because you obviously don't get that when you skate council built skate parks and stuff. You actually get to choose what you build, which is nice. And it always sucks because when buildings are being built on them, you know, you might get 6 months out of a DIY spot if you're lucky. So when you get a while out, it's really nice, and then you get used to it, and then before you know it, the building on it gets knocked down, which it sucks. That's the downside to it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to think. I guess you'd like to think realistically. In my head, I'd obviously want to skate for as long as I possibly can. I'd like to say forever, but I mean, it's cool when you see videos of like old, like 7-year-old guys, like it goes viral on Facebook because they're skating still and doing tricks. It's nice to see, because you realise that it is kind of possible, and it's funny. I've made friends in skating that I'll know for a very long time, so even when I can't skate, it's something that's nice to look forward to. And I've got a lot of older friends that are in, you know, the 30s, 40s, 50s that still skate a lot and still can live and work a job and have kids and a wife like normal, and still have days in the week where they go out skating, which is comforting to know, because I guess you spend all the time in your teens and your 20s just jumping down stuff and hurting yourself constantly. You think like you're gonna be in a wheelchair by the time you're in your 30s, but somehow people manage to survive it and skate until they're getting on quite a bit. So that's my target, I guess, just to keep skating and having fun with it until I can't possibly physically do it anymore. And even then, it'll still be in my brain and I'll still watch skateboarding and still be involved in it somehow. So I think, yeah, that's the dream, that's the target, I guess.